Hi, my name is Samuel Baxter, and I'm a technical solution specialist at Cisco Systems. In this video, I will discuss Cisco DevNet and explain why this ecosystem is essential for engineers to gain skills and remain current as the IT industry continues to change. You may ask, what is Cisco DevNet? Cisco DevNet is Cisco's developer program. It's the place for Cisco customers, partners, and individuals to go if they're interested in writing applications, integrations, or workflows that use Cisco platforms. DevNet has a very strong belief in hands-on learning, hence the motto of see it, learn it, and code it. This presentation will begin with a brief overview of DevNet as a platform and go over the mission that the creators sought out for the program in 2014 at its launch. I would then explain some of the benefits of programmability, highlight the DevNet certifications, introduce the DevNet specialization program for partners, and I'll conclude the video with a demo showing you how to get started programming today. DevNet's three-part mission is quite simple: to help Cisco's employees, customers, and partners grow in the modern economy and API economy. To make innovation easy, help developers build solutions with Cisco platforms and APIs. And to make DevNet developers successful in their businesses and careers. As the network security industry continues to innovate, having an understanding of APIs and programming has multiple benefits. The first being innovation and business agility. So in the past, it may have took ages to implement something and you had to stay up for 4 a.m. maintenance windows. Now with automation, it's quick and easy all across the network. The next benefit will be accelerated time to market, followed by service delivery optimization. We want to be sure that the services built on top of the network can be optimized as soon as possible. The next benefit is highly skilled architects and engineers focused on business. So sometimes valuable resources are used inappropriately. We can then refocus them on doing things that are critical to business development. Next, we have cost reduction and increase efficiencies. So this will allow you to spend less and do more. The final benefit we have is improved network availability due to reduced human error. If you're an engineer, you know that the majority of network outages are due to human error. By utilizing automation, you can ensure any network changes are as accurate as possible. On this slide, we'll talk about some of the common questions from customers. Things like, how can you help me automate my infrastructure? How can I manage info and apps across many locations? And also securely connect multiple platforms and data? Can you help me solve my business problems? Customers are looking for partners to build automation and help them with innovation for their business. Most of the time, customers don't really have that software capability or the skills to do so. So they turn to Cisco or the Cisco partners to help them with programmability and APIs. By utilizing Cisco DevNet, partners like you can help customers transform their business and unlock the value of software automation. Here you can see a list of all the platforms that have a DevNet Dev Center. For this video, we'll focus on security. As you can see on the right side of the screen, the DevNet program caters to two different types of developers. The goal is to bring them together and help them work together. This video is directed towards infrastructure developers. They're from the ops side of the house and are more concerned with integrating tools in the back end, automating networks, and creating DevOps workflows. Here we can see the multiple components that make up Cisco DevNet. There are two areas into which we'll dive a little deeper: DevNet certifications and DevNet specialization. So what are DevNet certifications? Cisco has had network engineering certification levels for many years. These have been respected around the world, and it's been a hugely successful program. The certification levels range from CCNA all the way up to CCIE. Cisco has introduced a new track called the DevNet certification track. It aligns to the same levels as the network engineering track. Both tracks have the same kind of exams, the same rigor, the same levels of expertise, but the DevNet certifications focus more on software skills. Within the software track, at the first level, there's DevNet Associate. This is a great place to get started. It proves that individuals have skills in developing and maintaining applications built on Cisco platforms. To earn DevNet Associate certification, the person must pass one exam. Next is the Specialist certification. This provides an opportunity for individuals to work on application design and software development. This allows you to learn about APIs and some of the Cisco products. The third DevNet certification that is available today is the Professional certification. This one is a bit more comprehensive. There are two exams, one that covers core software development and design for Cisco platforms, and the other exam covers core software development in a particular technology concentration that a candidate wants to pursue. One job role that is gaining traction is the DevSecOps engineer. A candidate can prepare for this role by completing the CCNP security. The first step in obtaining this certification would be taking the core exam. This exam validates a candidate's understanding of the entire Cisco security portfolio. The second security-focused exam that can be used to achieve CCNP security is the 300-735, Automating and Programming Cisco Security Solutions. This will validate a candidate's understanding of RESTful APIs, data models, firewalls, web, and implementing automation across all of Cisco's security products. The next component of DevNet I wanted to discuss is DevNet specialization. This is a program that Cisco created to recognize partners with demonstrated software capabilities and business practices. There are two levels to this program, the first being specialized and the second advanced. To qualify, the partner organization needs to demonstrate their proficiency in the following areas. Business processes. What does their software practice look like? What about customer support? Do they have robust processes, procedures, and proper controls embedded in those processes? People. They need to have a combination of business roles and certified technicians to have success in creating, marketing, selling, implementing, and supporting software solutions for customers. The next three categories are consolidated under what is called software offers and solutions. Here, the partner is required to provide proof that they actively contribute to the DevNet community through code submissions and hold reference customers. They will also be required to complete a practical demonstration in a controlled code environment. So you may think to yourself, these are a lot of requirements. What type of benefits will we gain once we reach DevNet specialization? Specialized partners will be invited to regular WebEx sessions from DevNet so that we can share relevant information to keep you technically up to speed. Specialized levels receive 20 tickets per year of technical support for APIs. Advanced levels receive 30 tickets per year. For partner-hosted DevNet Express events, Cisco will provide multiple resources, including trainers and infrastructure, to help the partner have a successful event. Partners will receive discounts on products for internal use only. They'll be able to use the logo and certificate builder and receive recognition on Cisco's partner locator tool. The partner will also receive a page on the DevNet website in the ecosystem exchange, which will focus on them and their programmability credentials. This page will pull in their approved DevNet, code exchange submissions, links to their social activity, and can point to use cases or success stories relating to their specialization. Alongside all of these listed benefits, the partner organization will have access to marketing velocity training, which will aid in their demand generation opportunities. The links listed will provide more information on the topics presented in this video. For the next portion of this video, I'll show you how to get registered with DevNet and begin learning. Navigate to developer.cisco.com. From here, we'll go ahead and click Sign Up Free. And for this example, I'll be using Google to log in. So after logging in with the provider of your choice, you'll be presented with a typical registration window requesting some personal information. So after you fill in this information, then go ahead and click Register. When the registration process is complete, we'll begin navigating through the site. Underneath Get Started with what DevNet has to offer, you'll see 6 icons. We'll take a look at some of these in detail. First, we'll begin with Start Now. DevNet created this space because a lot of people said, "This sounds great, but where do I start?" Within Start Now, you'll find a curated list of learning labs. This is a great area to begin learning and focusing in on a technology of your choice. Here we can see security, and this explores the Firepower APIs and goes into some details with the Firepower Management Center. So now we'll go back to the main page and we'll click on the learning tracks. These tracks are online and self-paced, so you can see some of the different technologies that are offered here, the amount of modules and labs, and also an estimated time to complete the labs. In addition to these learning tracks, we have DevNet Express. So we'll click on DevNet Express, and you can see here we have DevNet Express for Security, version 1.1. Here we have multiple different labs that'll help you with setting up your workstation and your environment, verifying your environment. This helps with Python setup and installing tools such as Postman. After you have those tools set up, then you can go through some of these courses teaching Python fundamentals, REST API fundamentals, before diving deep into specific APIs for the Cisco security portfolio. Here we can begin working on AMP for Endpoint APIs, Identity Services Engine, Threat Grid, Cisco Umbrella, and Cisco Firepower APIs. After understanding the basics of the APIs, you can utilize a hands-on lab. I've clicked on this Working with Firepower Threat Defense Device APIs guide. We can utilize this guide in combination with the Sandbox environment to learn about the API via Python, Postman, or the API Explorer. So I'll go back to the DevNet Express for Security, and we'll take a look at one additional module. So this will help you getting your workstation and environment set up. So you can see here some steps needed to set up your own development environment. And I'll go back to the main page. So the next item is the video course. So these video courses help you with network programmability basics. It allows you to jumpstart your journey into network programmability with expert-led video courses. Here we have 6 different modules, each with lessons, including API and code samples you can use on your own computer to follow along with the videos. As you're watching the videos and you have a question, you're able to click Chat Now to get support over a WebEx team space and ask an expert. So we'll go back to the main page and we'll click on Sandbox. So this Sandbox is where you can get your hands on pretty much any Cisco platform. You can reserve the Sandbox and start sharing it with your team if you begin working on some automation workflows. Within the Sandbox, there are hardware-based environments, virtual environments, and pure development environments. We can click View All Sandboxes, or we can go to explore certain technologies. So here we can see some of the security sandboxes. In the left panel, we can see some useful documentation and getting started with the DevNet sandbox. Here we can see some of the security sandbox offerings. We can try them out from here, or we can navigate back to the top of the screen and we can explore all of the security sandboxes. For this example, I'll be showing you the FTD REST API sandbox, how to get started with scheduling the reservation and connecting to the lab. So here you can see some of the different options for reserving the sandbox. One thing to note is you can reserve the sandbox up to 1 week. For this example, I'll go ahead and just do 8 hours. And you can see here, if you want to share it with a teammate, you have that option. And I'll click reserve. Once the lab loads, we can see a topology view of the devices in the lab. In the left pane, we have information on connecting to the device, the IP addressing, and access credentials. For this lab, we'll be able to connect to the FTD graphical user interface over the web. We'll be able to SSH into the device from our local machine. And I'll also show you how to connect to the CentOS server, which has a lot of programming tools already built in and installed, like Postman and Python. This lab setup typically takes 10 minutes, and in the top right, we'll see setup change to active when it's complete. So you'll notice a VPN access tab. So in this tab, it explains that we will receive our credentials to connect over the AnyConnect VPN client in our email inbox. So for this example, I'll go ahead and check the email inbox and retrieve those credentials, and I'll go ahead and connect to the VPN. So here we can see the information needed to connect to the VPN. So I'll go ahead and copy the lab network address and paste it into my AnyConnect client. And I'll go ahead and grab the username and the password as well. So I'll click connect, and this comes up. I'll go ahead and paste in my username and then go grab the password, and I'll paste that in as well. I'll click OK and give it a few seconds, and our tunnel should establish. So that shows how quick it is to go ahead and get connected through the AnyConnect VPN to the security sandbox. So here we can see we are connected, and I'll navigate back to the lab to take a look at some of the IP addresses and usernames that are associated with the Firepower threat defense. So we can gain information on the actual device as far as the sizing, the RAM, the CPUs. But for this example, I'm looking for the username and password, and that should be under the attributes section. So we can utilize this in connecting to our device over HTTPS. And we'll also be able to use this for the SSH portion. So here I'll connect to the FTD over SSH, and I'll insert that password. So after we're able to connect over SSH, then I'll show you how to connect over the remote desktop client. So for Windows, you'll be able to just use RDP on the computer, but since I'm in the Mac, I'm using the Microsoft Remote Desktop application. Here I'm just putting in some of the server access credentials, and you can find this on the DevNet screen under the FTD REST API overview. And I'm going to go ahead and add that computer and connect to it. So now I'm connected to the CentOS server, and I can begin interacting with the FTD API utilizing the Learning Labs on the DevNet portal. Hopefully this overview was helpful in getting you started in network programmability with the Cisco Security Portfolio. Thank you.